The secret garden is no longer a secret.
Oh, wait, what?
It's not.
Oh, I was
We're
ready
bringing
to
the
tell
garden
secrets.
And there's a lot more to the secret garden than just what you see on this table. You must go to her place, Jasmine. It's incredible there.
Yeah, I can only fit so much in my car, so you got to come
That's
out
the
and see it.
secret.
Yeah.
All right, welcome into Studio 40 Live. Gary Gelfand over there, Scott Moak here, Jasmine in the middle. How are you on this fight? You're growing things, and it's the weather. This turn of the weather has to make you so happy.
It does, because I'm sick of being, rain hitting me in the eyeball and stuff like that. Yeah.
For sure.
And everybody has spring fever.
Yes.
It's like as soon as you get those 70-degree days, like a couple in a row, it's over. People are ready. They're calling me asking for tomatoes like 10 times a day.
Oh, are they? Yeah, super busy.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, let's jump in right now and check out and see what you got going on right now. I mean, we're talking about growing little food containers and things, right?
Yep. So I figured we'd start with things that you can plant now, because all I'm getting are people that are like, "Where are your tomatoes? Where are your peppers? I want zucchini," and
Slow
it's
your
like too soon. I was watching the weather on the previous segment, and we're still dipping below 40 at night, which means like resist the urge to buy a tomato plant, even if you see it at other nurseries. Like it's way too soon.
Because they won't like that.
They won't like that at all. No.
But some of the things you brought today can withstand some of those cold overnight temperatures.
To like showing people what you can do without having a giant yard and a huge raised bed, and like you don't have to invest a ton of time and a ton of money to be able to enjoy produce from your own. Yeah.
All right.
So this is a berry basket container, and I planted. This is a blueberry.
Oh, all sorts of berries.
So you can
all
see,
sorts of berries.
They're not ripe yet, but you can see how many blueberries you're going to get. Every single flower will become a blueberry. So this will probably give you a couple hundred just from this one little bush. And then I planted strawberries all around the front, which act as a ground cover. They're never going to get taller than the blueberry bush, but they'll spill over the sides. And so you'll have strawberries and blueberries.
In the same pot. That's so cute.
Yeah. And then these are violas, which are, everything I brought today is edible. So these are edible flowers.
Salad. You see them on salads.
You see them on
all the
fancy
time.
salads, or people put them on cakes when they decorate cakes.
That's right.
So this is only, I think, a 14-inch container. It's tiny. You could easily fit this on a patio, and then,
Yeah, and then when it all grows, it's going to look so pretty.
It'll
You got
look
all the
pretty.
different colors,
Yeah,
the
it'll look
blueberries,
pretty.
the strawberries.
All right, not edible over here. What are we doing on this?
this is rosemary.
That's rosemary.
Yeah, smell it.
Oh, yes.
Even the flowers, people put the flowers in their salad too.
fantastic.
Yeah, so good. And then
save a little.
you can
Save a
save
little
some,
for
put in your pocket for later.
Save a little for later.
And then even with this like skinny little window box, I have it here showing you could do it with herbs, right? This is thyme, rosemary, and parsley, which are things I use a lot, so that's why I chose these. But if you wanted to plant, like let's say you just love a mojito and you use a ton of mint, you could plant this whole thing full of mint. You could plant this whole thing full of lettuce and then just leave it on your patio. And even in a small space, you could actually get a pretty decent amount of yield from that.
I am actually always looking for more time. So I actually
That's
plant
you.
time
That one's for you then.
We need more time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody needs more time.
Okay, down here on this end, there's more good fun stuff, right?
Well, I think a couple things I'll say about planting in containers is it's even more important to take the soil health really seriously, because plants can't access the nutrients in the ground like they would. If I planted this blueberry bush in the ground and forgot to fertilize, it would just spread its roots out further and access nutrients.
Find its own.
Yes. But when I have it in a container, like finite space, it can't really
expand.
Right. So we're gonna be super, it's really important that you fertilize and amend the soil to make sure it has a ton of nutrients in it so that you get more fruit. Worm castings, it's just a nice way to say worm poop, basically.
Wow.
Yep.
But
it's the scientific way to say it.
It's a casting.
But don't open it.
No, I'm not.
He wants to, but don't.
Leave the worm poop alone.
So you'll add that to the soil.
Right.
This is an organic fertilizer. Whenever you're planting veggies, use organic fertilizer.
Organic.
Sure.
Okay. Organic.
Not the time for Miracle Grow. It's when you're gonna eat it. You know.
This is one thing. Would say I have a pot that's been out there for like a couple years. It's in the same soil. Is that okay? Should I change the soil?
That's such a good question.
You know
so
what I mean? Because it feels to me like it's old.
Right. If the soil isn't light and fluffy like this, if it's all root bound and it looks like spaghetti in there with all the roots, change the whole soil out.
Change the whole thing. Okay.
If you get in there and it's still loose and like there's good aeration and stuff, I would just amend the soil with fertilizer or worm casting.
Yeah, worm castings.
And then you don't need to. But even with a pot this small, it's not a ton of soil. For me, I might just start fresh, because a lot of times the plant has taken all the nutrients that it needs if you've used it for a full season anyway.
It's ready for new.
But you don't have to do that in planting beds. In planting beds where you have a ton of soil, you just amend it. You just add the good
Add
stuff
to it.
back in instead of having to start from scratch.
That's good.
Love it.
I
You
love
got any basil or anything over there? or-
Too early.
Oh,
we
too
have
early.
seeds though, so
Yeah,
you
basil
could
seeds.
you would sow
I
basil
see seeds.
Okay.
And you brought some different
I brought
seeds.
seeds that you plant right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Got the chard lettuce,
Yep.
some carrots, arugula.
Oh,
and
it's
the,
still time for like
the
leafy
radish.
greens. You could plant lettuce seeds today and be harvesting. This happens in like 2 weeks. It would look like this.
That's
and you can
lettuce.
harvest, this is butter lettuce, I think.
Whoa,
butter.
so you just pull that right
yeah,
out
butter
and,
lettuce.
you know,
So you would
throw a
just
little
take, if you're doing like
Italian
a
dressing on it, and you're good?
yeah, a little wedge salad, yeah, easy.
Right.
Yeah, so this one you could plant from seed, or you could take these little starts and plant them. And each one can do 1 or 2 like big heads of lettuce.
Wow.
And honestly, like it used to be that sometimes the part of gardening was more about the act of gardening because cost-wise, it was
Yeah.
kind of like, what's cheaper, going to the grocery store and buying it or growing it yourself?
Right.
Now it's definitely cheaper
Definitely
to grow
cheaper.
it yourself.
For sure,
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah.
You know, we
Can you
did
grow eggs at all? 'Cause those are
right?
Super.
Right? Where's the chicken plant?
Oh, that's
Really?
what we need a chicken for that. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I will say we did a survey, a poll. I don't know, it's been a couple years now on Studio 40 Live, and we asked people what their favorite things are that they want to see on this very show. You know what one of the top things was?
Tell me.
Gardening.
Gardening.
Okay.
Outdoor,
Good point.
backyard
Cool.
gardening.
It was in-depth
Thank
research.
you.
That we
Thank you for bringing the info
Yes.
to
What the people want.
And what people watching are like, yes, we
Thank
need
you.
to see plants and
Thanks for
gardening.
letting me know that
I'll
it's not
bring-
time to get tomatoes.
Too early, but I will bring tomatoes and all of that when it's time.
I can't wait.
Probably in a month.
Wait, when it's time?
When
Or-
it's time for tomatoes, and then we'll talk about that too.
Time.
Yeah.
Great. Make sure to bring those tomatoes, by the way. Those
will.
Are, a tomato's a fruit, by the way. Do you know that, Scott?
Sure, yes.
Yep.
Avocado? What about avocado?
Out of avocado. Ooh, that's a vegetable.
We'll talk about it next time.
That's
Jasmine,
right.
great job. Say hi to Mom for us, and go out and visit the secret garden. That is, I'm glad it's not a secret. Personally, I'm glad.
I think it's yeah. I mean, it's
shouldn't
out
be a
and about. It should never be a secret. It should never be a secret.